Welcome to a truck special from sunny South Africa. Coming up, Eve tests Nissan's newest pickup in the UK, plus I'll be in the US looking at some big Yank tanks, and Brian will be showing us his used van top tip. Oh. Oh. Hey mate, can you use directions to Clynesy? No problem. Well, thanks very much, buddy. You dirty pig! Well, that's left him behind. Mind you, I like his vehicle, really smart. Looking at this, it looks like it's the Toyota Hilux. And double cab as well, top of the range, very impressed. Must be the 270. Oh, might as well have a look around while I'm here. Ooh, what's this? A map. Diamonds. Like a truck gold here. I think I'll be following this. Eve, you won't believe it, somebody's taken my car. Can you get me another one quick, as soon as you can? Can't believe he's taken my car, but if he gets to that diamond mine before me, I really will be cheesed off. Certainly when you put your foot down, it feels like this is the 102 horsepower. Toyota have two diesel engines on this vehicle, an 88 horsepower and 102. They're both the same engine, they're identical engines, but the electronic system sorts out what power you get. So the 88 horsepower revs about 3,800, whereas this 102 horsepower engine revs just slightly less at 3,600. It's got some lovely torque in it, and certainly you can see it's an excellent off-road vehicle. Believe it or not, the Hilux is the second most popular model in the Toyota range after the Corolla. Since its introduction to the UK in the early 1970s, over 54,000 models have been sold. It is now the third best-selling pickup in Europe. This vehicle, being the 270, means the fact that it's virtually permanent four-wheel drive as well. So whereas the lower range ones, I think the 240, it's switchable. So this is the ultimate off-road vehicle. The Hilux is only available with one engine, although it does have either an 88 or 102 brake horsepower options. Maximum torque for the 102 horsepower engine is 260 Newton meters at either 1600 to 2400 RPM. The towing limit ranges from 1800 to 2200 kilograms. Well, so far so good. Now according to this map, I'm almost there. While I'm digging myself out, why don't you go and join Eve as she checks out another Japanese warrior, the new Nissan pickup.
Hi, Eve here. On this series of trucks, I've met a lot of trucking buddies. I've also got to drive 4x4s and a 230-ton truck, which gets me to thinking, I want a truck of my own, but first I need the gear. Well, I've got the hard hat, I've got the jacket, I've got the king-size chunky chocolate bar, and I've got the boots. All I need now is a whopping great big truck. Glad of that, isn't it? Well, I've not got an HGV licence, so this is the closest I can get to a proper truck. But it still looks pretty mean. You've certainly seen me coming with that big cab and that two-tone paint job. The roll bar on the back finishes the look off, whilst the side steps makes getting in and out a lot easier. It's practical too. With that flatbed on the back, I could easily get all my shopping in. The big alloy wheels and the massive ground clearance add to the king of the road look of the Nevara. Well, it certainly looks like a beast, but does it drive like a beast? I think we need to find out. Let's give it a go. Let's take that off for a start. Can't cope with that. Oh, look! Squashing me. Now the boots, the boots are gonna have to go as well because I'm touching both pedals here now. I'll tell you what, at this rate, I'm gonna end up driving this truck naked. Now there's a thought. Well, the first thing I notice about the cab is how boring and simple it is. It's all grey, yeah, grey. And although it does come with a CD player, yes, and air conditioning, which is excellent for summertime, but it's not got a CB radio, which is, you know, very important for us trucker ladies because we like to keep in contact and let people know that there's smokies out there. And it's also not got a vanity mirror. How dare they? Us ladies need to put our lippy on whilst driving. Always look our best. What I do like about it though is that it drives very, very well. I mean, I'm a lady in a big truck and I'm finding it so easy. Look, it holds the road well, holds the corners well. I'm very impressed, very impressed. The only problem with it is the headroom. There's not a lot of headroom at the back, and if it is meant for truckers, maybe people who are on building sites, they're going to want to wear the hard hats. There isn't any room for that in there. But it is good for my boys who play football full of mud. I can throw them in the back. Well, I love the truck. The outfit had to go. I'm off to find myself a trucker. So from me, Threlkeld, till next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Now, it's all right pottering around the mean streets of England, Eve, but when you're out here, it's a completely different situation. If you're in a rush like I am, you've got to take whatever Mother Nature can throw at you, and I don't mean a set of traffic lights. Well, the first rule in driving on sand is going as fast as necessary, as slow as possible. It's a case of slowly catch your monkey. Now, one of the most important items on a vehicle when you're off-roading are the tyres. What you've got to do is actually reduce them down in pressure. We're down to 1 bar now, and that means we have a greater footprint on the sand, which means that we get better traction, which drives us much better through the sand. Another technique off-roading, particularly on the sand, is to ensure that you try and follow the tracks. Certainly if there's some vehicles been in front of you already, try and follow the tracks as best as possible. So that means the sand's compacted and therefore should make your ascent a lot easier.
Join me later in the show when you can find out if I managed to get away with that diamond.
Now, compared to pickups in the UK, which is a minor market still in its infancy, the US is poles apart, with a well-established and thriving customer base, both in retail and professional users. So why is a pickup so popular?
Approximately 80–90% of every household in this country owns a pickup or some sort of a pickup unit. They like their toys, they like their motorcycles, they like their snowmobiles. For them to load their toys up, haul them to the desert, to do their playing activities.
The American pickup sector is probably the most diverse and developed market in the world. It is for that reason that it's also one of the most competitive, with offerings from nearly every car and light truck manufacturer in the US. Market leaders are General Motors and Ford on the smaller size, with manufacturers such as Dodge entering further up the weight range. But with the increased size comes increased engine power, and some of these vehicles have embarrassingly large capacities. We're talking about 8.1 litre V8 petrol engines.
But Americans can afford to run these gas-guzzling, badger-killing monsters because fuel is so cheap. We're talking something like 25p a litre.
Now in the UK, we'd expect to see a vehicle of similar size to get about 20 to 25 miles per gallon, but here you can quite literally halve it.
But these pickups are huge. How do you distinguish between a pickup and a truck?
Here in the United States, when we refer to trucks, it depends what level you're talking about. Anywhere from the full-size trucks, a pickup truck, which is a cab with a box for utility use in the back.
So it's a case of, honey, I blew up the pickup, and you won't believe the diversity of accessories available. But due to the diverse nature of the American climate, lifestyle and occupation, there's a whole host of attachments available to customise your pickup. For instance, this utility company use it for cable laying, but let's face it, with a pickup like that, that's about the only thing you're going to lay. Because America's so huge and people live in remote and isolated areas, you might find that this will come in handy for those 6-foot snowdrifts.
We have a 75 LDA snowplow here, and what it does is it allows the homeowner of SUVs and light trucks to do their own snow plowing in the comfort of their cab with a remote control. What they do is they just hook it into the 2-inch receiver hitch of their vehicle, no mounting brackets, no heavy weight on the front of the vehicle, and they can turn the remote on from their cab. They raise up the plow.
Got me?
It really works fast.
Now, if you've got the ultimate toy, such as an ATV or a jet ski, you need the ultimate pickup, and this is it, specifically designed for it. So this pickup's got more cupboards than Buckingham Palace. It just goes to show the various applications that pickups can get used for. Join me after break when we see one of Europe's best-selling vans challenge the US, and we join Brian for his used van top tip. Welcome back to our pickup special. Although not strictly a pickup, vans play a major role within the US commercial vehicle market, and guess what? They've got some competition.
Freightliner have taken a gamble bringing Sprinter into the US, as it doesn't fit neatly into the American market sectors. But this 160 brake horsepower automatic van is creating quite a stir, and with the rumoured arrival of the Iveco Daily under a GM badge, this is beginning to get quite interesting.
Right now we have cargo vans, we have passenger vans, and the chassis cab will be coming later on this year, so we'll have the full product line available in the US. There's always been a market for commercial vehicles that are van type as well as medium duty, but as the cities are getting more and more crowded, we're getting people that need higher cargo capabilities and can't take a big truck. So we're essentially fitting into a niche that is being created by the Sprinters.
So much so that the US is gearing up to combat this new competition, typified by the launch of GM's new Savannah van.
We're really excited about the launch of our new Chevrolet Express van and also Savannah vans. What we're actually introducing are some items that we believe are classified as both strong, smart, and surprising. These, especially in the United States, are segment-busting features because they introduce a left-hand door, all-wheel drive, and improved accessibility through panels on the side of the van that we haven't seen before in a full-size van.
All this toing and froing across the water does beg the question as to which is going to be the next European van to make the trip across here.
Now, if you're not in the market for a new van, stay tuned for Brian's used van top tip. But join me later in the show. We'll now be in South Africa for the rest of our pickup special.
A van with a good reputation for bodywork. So why is this van not more popular? The Citroen Relay. Let's go and have a look. The doors on these will last forever. The only thing is you've got to get into them first. Take the skin off your fingers with these if you're not careful. Now, thing to check for on the inside of these is where the door hinges meet the panel work here. They're prone to splitting and the hinges are prone to failure. That's mainly due to the weight of the door. These things weigh a ton. Now, This is a short wheelbase version. Now, a lot of competition for its competitors. It's a nice compact little van. Let's have a look in the back. The rear back windows are all sealed, good for security. Let's have a look and see what we got. Now that will take 1,135 kilos in there. It's not a bad load space. Nice wooden bulkhead, good condition inside. It's a normal standard roof on this one. Let's have a look down the side, see what we've got. Good flat side panels on these, not a ripple on there. Nice bright white. Why not use them for your advertising? Now, let's have a look under the bonnet. Let's see what drives this machine, shall we? This particular vehicle is a 1.9 litre. Now, the overall weight of the vehicle is 2.8 tonnes. So 1.9, touch underpowered really for this beast. They do a 2.5 litre. Now, the things to look for on this engine, it's basically the Peugeot lump, oil leaks. Check for oil leaks, make sure you've got a good history with it. Good vehicle, you judge. Good spacious interior on this vehicle. As you can see, this vehicle's got a nice bulkhead fitted in. It's going to stop anything coming through braining you. Nice and comfortable. Again though, the only problem you suffer with in here, there's nowhere to put your documents. Your day-to-day bits and pieces you need to run with. If there's 3 of you in here, you've got really nowhere to put anything. Well, now you've bought your Citroen Relay. What are you going to do about insurance and other bits and pieces? Make sure that you're covered with public liability, goods in transit. Have you got the correct insurance on the vehicle? Make sure that the insurance company have told you what you need, and if it's fitted out with special equipment, make sure they know about it.
Well, proper diamond mine. I'm certainly looking at this. This looks like the place. Tell you what, if I catch that guy, he's not going to know what's hit him. Well, I've got my diamond, but now I've got to get out of the country.
LANDCRUISER has now been around for over 50 years, during which time it has sold more than 3.7 million vehicles worldwide, 27,000 of which have been in the UK.
In the Hilux, you felt like you were really feeling the bumps, and you did feel the bumps. Here, you're slightly sanitised against the bumps. It's cushioned against you. A very, very smooth ride, but at the same time, I don't really like that. Certainly, there's a difference between a professional user and a retail user. I like to feel that I'm in tune with the road, and certainly feel like I know what's going underneath the tyres. Here in the Colorado, you don't get that feel whatsoever.
Performance, as you would expect, isn't earth-shattering for a vehicle this size. But for the record, the 3-litre diesel engine will reach 60 in just over 12 seconds and we're allowed onto a top speed of 106 miles per hour. The Colorado is available with either a 3-litre common rail diesel engine or a 3.4 V6 petrol engine with power outputs of 161 or 172 brake horsepower respectively. Maximum torque for the diesel is 251 pounds-foot at 1600 RPM.
I can see him up there now. I've nearly got him. Jeez, he's right in the mirror. He's nearly on. I'm going to have to speed up a bit. Well, I think I'm nearly there. I'm not too sure, but I know I'm not far off. Oh, I can't believe it. I've got a puncher.
Thanks for the loan of your Hilux, matey, and the 4-wheel drive churn through the Namaqualand desert. Some of those dunes are nearly vertical, don't you know? The suspension took a right pounding over those rocky mountains to Nevada, but the ride was surprisingly quite comfortable. You can keep your Camel's Lawrence of Arabia, I'd take a Hilux every time. PS, I might even use this diamond to buy one.
Now throughout this series of trucks, we've shown you some of the most exciting trucks and vans on the market, often from one extreme to the other. But if you've been unlucky to miss out, fear not. Coming along now are some of the highlights from throughout the series.
Now everyone loves the gadgets in the cars. You've got your electric windows, you've got your CD players, you've got your heated seats, but I bet even the top of the range BMW or Lexus doesn't have this. Hiya, how do you take it?
Now if the thought of saying goodbye to us is leaving you all teary-eyed, fear not, we'll be back later in the year with a new series of trucks. If you can't wait till then visit our website on www.menandmotors.uk where you'll get all the latest news and views. That's it, all that's left for me to say is keep on trucking.